All right, guys. Good morning. How y'all doing? Happy Monday. Hope you guys are doing great. So today we're going to talk about 7 ways to eliminate your excuses by Chris Brady. Let's check it out. So I have this friend. She uses excuses to get out of everything related to being a responsible adult, and I mean everything. The worst part is she has also been doing this for so long now that her excuses are deeply embedded in part of her personality. I used to gently nudge her toward ways to solve her excuses, so she stopped holding herself back. But she has the market cornered, seriously. It's an impenetrable force field. Her life isn't at all how she wants it to be, and instead of taking responsibility for it, she pulls out her scroll of excuses and reads out the section called Reason Why Nothing's My Fault. Truthfully, I have more respect for her if she were just to come out with it and say, I'm not doing this or that because I'm lazy. Let's face facts. If she wanted her picture perfect lifestyle badly enough, she'd do anything to get it. Why do I bother with her? Because at one time, I was her ambitious, motivated, determined. One time, she was motivated, determined. But when things weren't going how I wanted them to, I was suddenly a victim of my own environment. This led to years of spinning my tires. My excuses were always there to break my fall, until they weren't. Like my friend, I was participating in a blind game of self sabotage that led to my life turning out exactly how I swore it would never would. Like all bad habits, excuses are easy. They allow you to box yourself into a comfort zone and be okay with your life. After a while, you'll find this way of living isn't enough for you. You can either accept where your life is, which is the excuse coded version, and give up, or you can eliminate your excuses by responsibility for where you are now, and more importantly, why you created the excuse in the first place. So, what will it be? Yeah, I thought so. To help you get started, here are 7 ways to eliminate excuses. Number 1, read between the lines. Usually, the excuse you're using is masking the real reason why you can't accomplish something. For some, it's a fear of failure. For others, it's self-esteem issue. For others still, it's a fear of success or having something to lose. If you're unsure of where the excuse is coming from, simply ask yourself, if you were to succeed and accomplish what you wanted, what's the worst thing that could happen? List off every worst case scenario and you'll likely recognize a theme. This is the issue to tackle. Number 2, stop ending your statements with but. This is a little trick I used that worked every time. Instead of saying I'd really like to, but cut yourself off and say I'd really like to. This triggers your mind to focus on the plans you need to make to reach your goals instead of roadblocks currently in your way. Instant motivation. Cool. Number 3, avoid other excusers. One of the biggest things I noticed once I began stepping out of my comfort zone was the number of people in my life who were also making excuses. So many excuses. In fact, looking back on our conversation together, we were always complaining and excusing. Imagine if we instead put all that time into doing. Like you, those those you spend time with might not realize they're making excuses. And trust me, you can point it out all you want. It's a realization everyone has to come to on their own before they can change. Jumpstart a new conversation. Be the one who changes the tune. If you eliminate your excuses, you're likely encourage those you care about to do the same. Number 4, trick yourself. Depending on your goals, sometimes just thinking about them is overwhelming. This is especially the case with enormous goals such as succeeding in a challenging career or building a business from the ground up. It's easy to become so overwhelmed that you don't get started at all. Eliminate your excuses by creating the mother of all to do lists as it relates to that specific goal. Break it down to itty bitty little baby steps. Only work on one tiny step at a time and hide the rest of the steps in a drawer. When you're done the first step, it doesn't feel like it was such a big deal. Then move on to the next and then the next. This works wonders for me when I started working on my first screenplay while simultaneously recovering from adrenaline fatigue. Now I am able to work on it regularly and comfortably without a list at all. That's cool. Soon you'll look back on all of your tiny steps and be amazed at your progress. Number 5, build excuse-free habits. Pardon me. As they say, feel the fear and do it anyway. Recognize the excuses you're making, own up to them, and do what you want to do, regardless of what you think is holding you back. Yes, it's a lot easier said than done. Pardon me. But it's one thing to say you have control of your life and another to take control of it. Build these habits is difficult and sometimes painful in the moment, but afterward you feel refreshed and indescribably proud of yourself. So much so, you'll want to set your next challenge right away. It's an addictive practice. Once you get started, make testing your limits fun and enjoy the process on your own terms. Cool. Number 6, use your excuse as signals. Once you recognize your excuse for what they are, you can begin using them to your advantage. Consider your excuses a signal to a deeper underlying problem. It's a great way to familiarize with what makes you tick. Each time you find yourself making an excuse, look into it further. Find the true cause and work toward moving past this. The less you hold yourself back from your full potential. Excellent. Number 7, trust the process. There are times when you sincerely want to do something, but there are aspects of your schedule, lifestyle, workload that hugely conflict with what you want. In these instances, you're not in denial or making excuses. You're simply examining the roadblocks that are in your way. It's when you allow these roadblocks to stay in place that they become excuses. Oddly enough, it's when something really important to us that we start layering on the excuses. If you immediately turn to a proactive attitude when these situations arise and trust yourself to think of a solution, you won't have to eliminate your excuses. You won't be able to find one. Sounds good. Hope you guys like those 7 um, points there on how to eliminate excuses. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I know that I'll try to practice some of these, and it's great to know. Have a great day, guys, and enjoy your Monday. And be positive. Thanks.